Clifton-Brown.
Deputy Speaker, I'm grateful to catch your eye in this very important debate, but I'm not so grateful to have to follow the speech from the Honourable Lady for Wigan. I can't believe that in over half an hour's speech she couldn't find something to welcome in this bill that would actually help levelling up of some of our poorest communities in this country. I can only conclude that she's reading a different bill to the one I've been reading. I wish to declare my register of interest as a Fellow of the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, which I have practised professionally in planning matters. Madam Deputy Speaker, I welcome the fact that the earlier zonal planning proposals were dropped and indeed the abolition of the 5-year land supply. It must be right to try and speed up the planning process by better use of data and digitalisation. What better place to start than to streamline and accelerate the local planning process and concurrently introduce neighbourhood development orders in clause 89 to make the neighbourhood plan process easier. This is important as these plans are where most people become involved in the planning process, a truly democratic part of the planning process. The democratic theme unfortunately applies with a vengeance to the National Development Management Planning Policies, which in clauses 83 and 84, which I referred to in an earlier intervention. I think it's very important that we think carefully about this because it does set a dangerous precedent that begins to nationalise planning policy and upsets the delicate balance between national and local policy that has existed since the original Town and Country Planning Act of 1947, which largely decentralised planning. Given the enabling power, I won't give way, I've only got 4 minutes. Given the enabling power in the bill to implement NDMPs and the enormous centralising power, what will they campaign? What will be the consultation process to create and amend them? And this is a very key question, and I hope the Minister might provide some answers when he sums up. I was heavily involved in the Public Accounts Committee inquiry into local government finance, and indeed called an adjournment debate in the House on the 27th of April this year, column 485, urging the government to take action to stop local authorities such as the Cotswold District Council, who wants to borrow £76.5 million on an annual core spending budget of just £11.2 million. The Liberal Democrats running that council are financially illiterate. I welcome the implementation of the Letwin Review to speed up development by the introduction of a development commencement notice which sets out an annual rate of housing delivery with large developments and a consequential completion notice. I also welcome the new infrastructure levy to be set in clause 113. This is in conjunction with the retained section 106 powers. In the Cotswolds, agricultural land is worth between £10,000 and £15,000 per acre, whereas with planning permission it could increase to £500,000 or more pounds per acre. And with good tax advice, only 10% is paid on the gain. If properly implemented, the infrastructure levy could provide substantial infrastructure. And it could end endless argument about delays and viability because the developer would know before purchasing the site what they would be expected to provide. The construct of charging it on the gross development value, and I would urge my honourable friend to listen to this, the construct of charging it on the gross development value is interesting, but it will deter any aspect of environmental design improvement unless it is statutorily required. A better construct might be to capture the increase in land value, which I demonstrate is there. Finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, I would just like to talk about the increase in planning and enforcement fees. This is welcome. It should, but most planning departments are poorly funded. They should be properly funded to rapidly determine applications and employ good and well-qualified planners. Madam Deputy Speaker, thank you for allowing me to speak in this debate.